we have to stop DA. They're 5-0 when he has 100 yards. And Jimmy Noodle Arm, along with the injuries, really worry me. We need to start Trey. See, that's it to me. Like 5-0 when he has 100 yards. That's not necessarily the easiest thing to attain. The Niners are 7-0 when Deebo Samuel gets 6 carries. Like that's why this team is so crazy to me. To me, they're like they have a cheat code, and they should be probably winning every game until Deebo Samuel gets old or hurt. I don't know.
Yeah, there's so many crazy stats that you can throw out. If this, then that. I think what's hard is that these teams are so different. Every team is so different at this point of the season than what they were the first few weeks. Some of those stats come from the first few weeks of the season, so it's really hard to point to those things and say, okay, well, if this happens, then it's definitely going to be a win or a loss.
Saw a better analogy on Twitter, rakes up all the leaves and then turns on the leaf blower and wonders what happened. Deebo and Bosa arrived 2019. Yeah, that's the thing. Like the reason this team is so great is largely those two and largely Deebo right now. I think they could win without Nick. They could win this game without Nick Bosa. I don't think they'd have a chance in hell without Deebo Samuel in Green Bay. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, they could win it without Bosa. I wouldn't feel good about it though.
I wouldn't feel good about it either, but they do have a very deep defensive line and they can get pressure. But without Deebo, they lose something they cannot replace at all. Not
Yeah,
even.
if the question is Debo or Bosa, then I'm keeping Debo.
Shanahan is a great play caller, but conservative strategist. Trey won't start. That's pretty well put.
It is, yeah.
Thoughts on Joe Montana documentary Cool Under Pressure? Haven't seen it. Have you?
No, I haven't. I don't have Paramount and I'm not paying for it. So
Yep, me neither. So sorry. Jack, thank you. I'll find it if it's on YouTube for
not
free.
Paramount. I think it's Peacock.
Okay. Well,
Wires
maybe I have
crossed, but
that. I
either
don't know.
way.
Could you imagine if the stars align properly, we can get the Rams and the Niners at the conference championship? Imagine the Rams lose into the Niners. Went on week 18, they could have taken care of them. Yep, absolutely could happen.
That would be
Jimmy Garoppolo
crazy.
could win the Super Bowl this year in a Trent Dilfer-esque manner. It could really happen because this team is that loaded. Put it out there. That's why I feel like it's unnecessary to give Jimmy Garoppolo credit for wins when he throws 2 picks and 1 touchdown. It's like, can we just give the rest of the team credit, please, please, and stop saying that Jimmy Garoppolo has some like magic elixir that makes everyone else better. No, it's Debo. It's everyone else. Can we give the credit properly?
Yeah, but see,
Trent
the
Dilfer
thing
was getting all the
is
credit in Baltimore 20 years ago.
everybody wants to bag on Dilfer. First of all, he made a Pro Bowl in his career. Second of all, I think he led the playoffs. That year in the lowest interception rate. That's
There
not
you
something
go.
Jimmy has shown he can do.
There you go. He's up in the fives. Chad says, to your response as a high school head coach, I am trying to win. If my quarterback is consistently making poor decisions with the ball, adjustments must be made. Quarterback 2. Thank you. How can you stick with the guy who's intercept? If Trey Lance's interception percentage was 5, he wouldn't be playing. And they would point to that. Well, he's not ready. But Jimmy doesn't. It's like, why are you looking at stats? Stats don't matter. What are you talking about? Special teams was 29th this season. Needs to step up. You got a life-size picture of the Niners special teams stepping up?
It needs to.
You heard what Kyle said. His goal on special teams is not to lose. Well, there you go. You lose. It might snow this weekend, might force Kyle to stick to the run and maybe play Trey. Yes, Super Bowl or bust. Trent said it's hard to make it far.
Yeah, I mean that's it. The elements. We know that I get Jimmy played at Eastern Illinois and all those things, but at the same time, Trey Lance's arm travels really well in the elements. That's a big advantage that he would have. And by the way, he's used to playing in cold weather himself.
His legs travel too. Nathan says, "I'm just tired of the day after excuses for the arsonist poor play. So ready for for Trey to start. Keep up the great work, Grant and Jesse." Yeah. What happens
Thank
is
you.
Jimmy plays poorly. Niner fans get mad. National media writes him off. The next day, there's a bunch of excuses. Every time.
Yep. Yep.
A big difference is Mitchell didn't play for us last time, and Lenore started at cornerback. Also, D'Amico Ryans is vastly improved on in-game adjustments. Also, Arden Key is a factor now. He wasn't before. That's another big one. Also, Debo's running
There's
back.
there's a lot of factors, Grant. Actually, Lenore didn't start. I believe that K1 went out. He got beat by a
Norman,
slot fade.
Norman,
Norman
Norman.
started. K1 got beat by a slot fade and then was out the rest of the game, and that's when Lenore played. So yeah, there was a lot of moving parts for sure.
It's a success. 1, we should all feel better about the evaluation of the team by Kyle and John. 2, Kyle is starting his guy. 3, this formula they have is more than one player in one season.
Uh, Yeah, on paper that sounds great. Number 3 does, but man, I don't know. It's hard to sustain being that competitive year in and year out.
What if Debo Samuel tears his ACL? I mean,
Right.
he's playing running back now. I mean, the shelf life of running backs is not long. You got to win now. This is viable now. What if uh, I this team? I think this team is the best team in football right now.
I
Quarterback
agree.
aside.
Outside of the quarterback
Yeah,
position, but that's the most important position.
exactly. And the Niners quarterback just can't get out of the way. If he could just get out of the way. Anyway, Julio
That's
says,
it.
"What's up, guys? Yes, it's Super Bowl or bust for this team. This is a stacked team. Other teams would die to have the players that this team has. So stacked.
Yeah.
You cannot find a liability other than the quarterback, which is wild to me. I mean, the punter, but it's a punter." Marmondo says, "Look, let's talk about how we can use Juice more effectively. Typically, when he gets the ball, he's been a threat. Why would we pay a pretty penny for him and not utilize him?" I agree with this. And they set it up so perfectly. You forget about him, and then him and Jawan Jennings are that like fourth or fifth guy that's like, oh, are you Kittle, Debo, this freaking guy? Yes. Dial that up. Those are game winners with use check. Same thing. He's just like Jennings.
Yeah, but this is what we talked about in the offseason. Why pay him so much? Because his usage rate's so low and it hasn't changed. It
It's
hasn't
true.
changed.
But now is a great day to use him. I'm just saying.
Right. But again, going back to the Trey thing, pull out all your stops.
Yeah. Lance gives us a better chance to win, in my opinion. Jimmy is averaging like 2 picks a game. Lance really worse than that. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. And talking to Jimmy Garoppolo supporters is kind of frustrating because they don't really address things like that. Like, well, they won, bro. And they call you bro and stuff. And it's like, once people start calling me bro, I kind of check out. $5 for 2 Jimmy pumps. Oh, that was graphic. Shout out
That's
to
great.
GF Katie Ferguson, Grant. Shout out to my girlfriend, Katie Ferguson. Shout out Katie Ferguson, Michael Carroll's girlfriend. You have good taste, even though I've never met Michael, but he's got good taste. So Nick Bosa should play, but Charles Amena, who turned out to be a great pickup. Who's D Ford? Yeah, anytime the 49ers sign a defensive lineman, I'm thinking Chris Kosrick likes him. I like
Yeah.
him. They seem to know
Yeah.
what they're doing. And the Raiders are the fact that he couldn't get anything out of Solomon Thomas is all the Raiders needed to know. All they needed to know. He's the one player who hasn't flourished under this guy's crazy.
No, it's very true. I mean, look at how bad Hyder was this year. Did he even play?
Yeah, yeah. Hyder needs to come back to Chris Kosrick. That's been established multiple times. Connor says Kyle trusts Mitchell over any other back because he has 0 lost fumbles. With Jimmy turning it over 1+ a game, he needs a back to trust not to turn it over. I think you're absolutely 100% dead on, balls accurate, as Marissa Tomei would say. So, yeah, good call. Good point. Trey threw a pick in his one start, but other than that, it's been Jimmy has committed all the turnovers on offense since Travis Benjamin fumbled a kick
Against the Falcons, right?
Exactly. If we're going to give Jimmy credit for this team getting this far, I'm giving a guy like Tom Compton more praise for stepping up when needed most. Yeah. Yeah. Tom
Yeah,
Compton's
the
been
thing is Trey threw a pick in both of his starts, but it didn't. It's never snowballed on him yet,
mm-mm,
right? Didn't turn into the 2, the 3, the almost a second and a third.
mm-mm.
I know that we shouldn't count almost picks, but there is a stat for it. It's called turnover rate. It is tracked, and Jimmy has a lot of almost picks. That means he's willing to throw the ball to the other team, and outside of the actual picks that Trey threw, he doesn't have those.
Double Devontae Adams and live with the consequences.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
In
see what they
certain,
do.
yeah, definitely
I
in certain
trust in
situations.
D'Amico. I trust in D'Amico either way.
Why is it so cringe to hear Eric Branch ask questions? The players and coaches hear his voice and take a deep breath and roll their eyes. Eric's got a shtick. I think a lot of them like his shtick. Eric knows what he's doing. I think a lot of them like his shtick. I'm usually I try to go for the short questions. Eric goes for volume. Were the players right about those 2019 vibes? I guess. Damn. I guess. Damn. In my
Yeah,
face.
they got it the second time
No,
around.
but
They
what I
sure
want to
were.
say is honestly, this team is different, and that's what I like
So
about it.
different.
It's
So
different.
different.
They have a this whole Debo Samuel at running back thing changed the game. It changed the game. It
And
changed the
Elijah
game.
Mitchell, everything that Mostert was, Elijah Mitchell is so much better. I don't care. I know
He's
he's
a
not as
starting running
fast.
back. Mostert was not a
He's
starting
not a
running
home
back.
run hitter,
Yeah.
but he 25 plus carries a game multiple times. Like he's a true bell cow.
Jim Harbaugh would have put in Trey by now. I agree.
1000%.
That's a good point.
Yes.
What happened to the show with your pops? That's your best show. It's coming back in due time. I'll tell him you said that, though. It'll make him feel happy.
It is the best show. I agree.
Trey Lance in this game, youth and strong arm does not make up for experience. They're going to run the ball 70 times.
Again, all experience is not good experience. If all of your experience is bad, it doesn't mean you can't just bring up experience because it's there.
Jimmy's play is like a new driver learning to drive stick. Lots of stutter starts and grinding of gears. Yeah.
Good point.
I drove
but
stick.
when he hits that freeway, man, he's good to go.
We could think about how much better this defense would be with a healthy Verrett and D Ford. Kind of crazy.
Dude, yeah, I don't.
D Ford hasn't been healthy since 2018. But yeah, we could think about it. Yeah. We think about it for a second. Crazy, man. Crazy. No, honestly, though, Verrett, if he were starting on this team, but they've had very good luck with injuries, so it's hard to play that card right now, right? Every team has injuries. Jair Alexander's been out since week 4.
Yep.
You know? Jonathan Chavez says Jimmy G is like that dumb fourth wheel on the shopping cart, just messing up everything. And Kyle too lazy to grab another one. Feel like we would have had start Trey from the start. Would have been in the same spot now. Thank you, man. It's like, what's this dude doing?
I got the visual. The stupid wheel spinning around in circles. I hate when it does that.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Okay.
That's a good one.